Hey there, pirates. Welcome aboard the Anime No Me channel. Yes, Garp is finally going to meet Luffy and teach his grandson how to use the true power of Haki, just like Roger did in God Valley. Let's start from scratch, grounding ourselves in what we know about Garp and his role in the saga. Garp first appears in Chapter 68 as Luffy's toughest-nails grandfather, a legendary marine who trained alongside Roger and crushed pirates like they were cookies. He's the hero of the Marines, famous for almost destroying the Rocks pirates in God Valley, as revealed in Chapter 957. But what makes Garp so special? His Conqueror's Haki, shown in Chapter 1160, is a raw, overwhelming force capable of shaking entire islands. Garp never used swords or devil fruits, only his fists and pure willpower, making him the perfect master for the King's Haki. Luffy, on the other hand, awakens his own Conqueror's Haki in Chapter 570 during Marineford, knocking out soldiers without even realizing what he's doing. In Chapter 1044, he combines that Haki with Gear 5, becoming the avatar of Nika, the sun god. But Luffy's Haki is still raw, like a punch without direction. The theory is this: Garp, with decades of experience, will teach Luffy how to refine that power into its ultimate form. A Conqueror's Haki that doesn't just intimidate, but can actually shape reality, preparing him to face Imu, the shadowy final villain. Let's dig into Garp's past to understand why he's the right man for this mission. In Chapter 431, during Water 7, Garp meets Luffy after Eni's lobby. But instead of arresting him, he laughs and lets his grandson go. Why? Because Garp believes in Luffy's freedom, even as a Marine. In Chapter 957, Sengoku's flashback reveals that Garp fought Rocks, D. Xubek, in God Valley, using Conqueror's Haki, so powerful even Roger was impressed. He didn't just defeat pirates, he shook the entire island, as if his will itself were a living earthquake. That's the sign. Garp masters King's Haki on a level Luffy can't even dream of yet. In Chapter 1088, during the assault on Hachinosu to rescue Kobe, Garp uses Galaxy Impact, a punch infused with Haki that obliterates an entire city. He's captured by the Blackbeard pirates, but survives, showing titanic resilience. That's the Garp who'll train Luffy, a mentor who turns sheer will into pure destruction. Now, let's connect Luffy and Garp in an epic reunion. In Chapter 1044, Luffy awakens as Joy Boy, but his Conqueror's Haki remains unstable. Against Kaido, he uses attacks like the Gum Gum Bajrang Gun, blending Haki with Gear 5, but nearly collapses from exhaustion. In Chapter 1110 on Egghead, he fights Lucci using advanced Haki, but still lacks fine control. Garp, with his experience, could teach Luffy how to channel that power like a razor-sharp blade instead of a clumsy hammer. In Chapter 1088, Garp is imprisoned, but Luffy, as Joy Boy, has a history of rescuing allies. Remember Ace in Marineford? The theory takes shape. Luffy will free Garp, and in return, his grandfather will train him, revealing the true form of Conqueror's Haki, a technique that combines willpower, physical strength, and Nika's essence to forge a power capable of challenging even gods. Revisiting past arcs for support, in Chapter 68, Garp already shows he understands Luffy's potential, but lets him grow on his own, just like Shanks in Chapter 1. He knows you can't force someone onto the path to becoming a king. In Chapter 431, after Eni's lobby, Garp teases Luffy, but doesn't arrest him. He's testing his grandson's will, like a master evaluating a student. In Chapter 580, during Marineford, Garp lets Luffy punch him to save Ace, proving his loyalty to the heart outweighs his duty. That's crucial. Garp will train Luffy not as a Marine, but as a grandfather who believes in the dream of the Pirate King. In Chapter 957, the God Valley flashback proves that Garp fought Rocks using pure Haki. No weapons, no fruits, suggesting he can teach Luffy to maximize Haki without relying so much on Gear 5. Now, let's light this theory on fire. Garp's training might happen after Luffy rescues him from Hachinosu. In Chapter 1088, Garp is in Blackbeard's hands, but by Chapter 1054, Luffy is already a Yonko, powerful enough to invade enemy territory. Imagine Luffy storming Teach's base, freeing Garp and his grandfather out of gratitude, deciding to teach him the secret of Conqueror's Haki. Garp could reveal a technique called the Will of the Cosmos, based on Galaxy Impact, which channels the King's Haki into a wave that not only knocks down enemies, but also awakens allies, just like Luffy already does on a smaller scale in Chapter 1044. This supreme form would merge Nika's freedom with Garp's raw might, allowing Luffy to shape reality like a god, but with a master's precision. Now, connecting this to Imu, the final villain, the theory burns even hotter. In Chapter 906, Emu appears on the empty throne, controlling the Gorosei like puppets. In Chapter 1085, he destroys Lelouch with a black beam, suggesting a power that swallows light, the perfect opposite of Nika. In Chapter 1116, Vegapunk reveals that Emu orchestrated the Void Century, sinking the ancient world. Luffy's raw Haki isn't ready for that, but Garp, who once faced Rocks, a pawn of Emu as suggested in Chapter 1160, knows how to fight divine forces. In Chapter 1162, the God Valley flashback shows Garp using King's Haki to clash with Emus, who possessed Saturn. Garp could teach Luffy how to refine that power to fight Emu directly, turning his punches into waves of will that dissolve shadows. Now picture the training and have some fun with it. Garp takes Luffy to a deserted island, just like in Chapter 68 when he trained him as a kid. But now, their punches split mountains. He teaches Luffy to focus the King's Haki into a single point, like a supernova, creating blows that not only destroy but also free minds enslaved by Emu. In Chapter 1044, Luffy already makes allies laugh with his Gear 5 form. With Garp's training, he could use his Haki to awaken the entire world, just as Joy Boy once tried. In Chapter 1088, Garp laughs even while imprisoned, showing that his will is unbreakable. That's what he'll pass down to his grandson. Now, let's put everything into the context of the final battle. Garp isn't just Luffy's mentor. He's the key to Luffy's transformation from an aspiring pirate king into the true destroyer of Emu and his Empire of Shadows. When the story reaches its climax and Luffy stands face to face with Emu, he won't be fighting with raw power anymore, but with an unbreakable will refined by Garp and a technique capable of shattering even the laws of physics and reality. As a master of Conqueror's Haki, Garp has both the wisdom and strength to teach Luffy that the true power of Haki isn't just about crushing, it's about transcending. Just like Nika, the very embodiment of absolute freedom. This final power, as we imagine it, won't just be a display of physical might or destruction, it'll be the ability to rewrite reality itself through the pure will of a human being. Something far beyond ordinary Haki. Something that could truly challenge even the gods. Emu, with his games of power and control, is trying to keep the world trapped in eternal darkness, manipulating events and forging a bloodline that's lasted for centuries. Luffy, guided by Garp, will learn how to break that manipulation, not just through strength, but through his ability to create a new reality. And this will be possible because Luffy's Conqueror's Haki, once refined, won't just be a wave of willpower. It will be a force that can shape destiny itself. Garp's connection to Luffy's past and to the concept of freedom is crucial. From the very beginning, Garp has played a dual role. As a powerful marine, he always had the potential to capture and subdue Luffy. But somehow, deep down, he's always been someone who respected his grandson's desire for freedom. When Garp didn't arrest Luffy in Water 7, back in Chapter 431, he was testing the strength of Luffy's will to see if he truly had what it takes to walk his own path. When Luffy faced Akainu in Marineford, and Garp, without hesitation, allowed his grandson to punch him in order to save Ace, that was more than family loyalty. It was an unspoken lesson that in the end, true freedom comes from the heart. And that's what Garp values most in Luffy. And that's exactly what Garp will pass on to Luffy, not just physical freedom, but mental and spiritual freedom as well. During their training, he may teach Luffy to concentrate his Haki more precisely, without wasting energy. Unlike Garp, who used brute strength to shake islands and destroy large-scale enemies, Luffy will learn to use Haki to liberate, inspire, and even heal. It's a power that doesn't need to destroy everything in its path. It can restore and free those who've been oppressed by Emu and his followers. And when we think about Garp's training, the analogy with Nika, the sun god, can't be ignored. The true essence of Nika is absolute unrestricted freedom. Through his life experience, Garp will be able to show Luffy how to harmonize that freedom with the power of the Conqueror. He won't just teach him how to amplify his Haki in terms of destructive strength, he'll show him how to refine it to deliver justice with precision, like a master carefully forging a blade. This isn't about being stronger than everyone else. It's about being wiser and fairer than everyone else. And when Luffy is ready, his Haki will go beyond manipulating matter. He'll be able to move through the very essence of things, changing the course of history with a single strike. But with Garp's power behind him, Luffy will be ready to break that illusion. His Conqueror's Haki, after training with his grandfather, will be more than a force of destruction. It will be the key to opening the world's eyes, to freeing it from Emu's manipulation. He won't need just a physical blow to defeat him, but the inner strength that comes from a true revolution. He won't just be a pirate king, he'll be a king who's willing to change the very structure of the world, giving everyone the freedom they deserve. And that's where Garp's role will be definitive. He won't only teach Luffy to master his Haki, he'll give him the deeper understanding that true power power, to be effective, must be used with wisdom, love, and the intent to protect others. That was today's content. We hope you liked it and want to share your opinion on the subject. Don't forget to share the video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care and stay amazing.